right, everybody, we are here with another quarterfinal from the IEM Katowice. This was a very highly anticipated quarterfinal because we have Solar in the bottom left, who we know as the unluckiest Zerg of all time. He's had a very bunch of unfortunate run-ins, getting nuked at last year's Katowice, amongst one of them a famous moment that will haunt him forever, and then not making it out of the groups because of that. But this time he rocked up and destroyed his group, 2-0ing Rogue and going through undefeated. 5-0, I believe it was. Or maybe 4-1. Oh, it was 4-1. He dropped his first series to Spirit, actually, which was kind of crazy. Everyone's like, wait, what? You lost to Spirit? You beat everybody else? It was insane. But anyway, his opponent in the top right, another player who's also been smashing it in his group stage. This is HEROMARINE. So HEROMARINE really stepping it up to dominate his group and get through here to the round of 8. And just so sick to see that out of him, because a lot of people look at Gabe and they go, he's not going to deliver under pressure. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he can get top 4 consistently in Europe, but he's not going to be getting to anywhere in the World Championship. Maybe he'll get out of groups if he's lucky, but probably not. And he dominated his group. It was not a close thing at all. He crushed it. He looked fantastic. So HEROMARINE here looking really good, but going up against Solar, a Zerg that just takes the wind out of people's sails, such a solid bloody Zerg who really regularly makes Beyond look like shit. Regularly makes even Maru, really struggle to take him out. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two match up in this quarterfinal. Factory does go down, so it's just a very standard build for HEROMARINE. Reaper, SCV goes out after the Barracks, Barracks Marine, into Factory, into Reactor. This is super stock standard. And Solar, likewise, is going to go for that 27 Overlord, builds the 2 Zerglings, and then starts that 3rd hatchery. Now, he actually goes Ling Speed before the 3rd, which is interesting. A little distracted by the Reaper. 3rd hatchery does go down, though. And, Reaper's being a bit of a dickhead. Doesn't get any kills, though. It's a big map. You're not really expecting to. He's going to see if he can get the Creep Tumor. Oh, Solar, you got to defend that, dude. Oh, okay. I think it's worth. I think it's okay if you kill the Reaper to lose the Creep Tumor. I was going to say, I think he put that a bit too close. His Zerglings should have been further forward, and then he could have guaranteed defended the Creep Tumor. But at the same time, then HEROMARINE wouldn't have been baited in and thrown his Reaper away. If he got that Creep Tumor and got out, would have been very good for HEROMARINE. As it is, ends up being a trade. Slow down the Zerg's initial Creep Tumor, which does definitely slow down that exponential growth of creep. But you've lost your only unit on the map early. It is a quick 3rd command center for HEROMARINE. Big fan of this. Single Zergling comes in. Hellions will be able to shut that down, but he already sees the 2nd barracks. And this is a crucial scout for Solar, who knows it's a 3cc into 2-1-1. So what do we mean by when we say 3cc? 3 command centers. This means you've rushed your 3rd command center into 2-1-1. 2 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport. And this is going to allow HEROMARINE to not only have a very quick 3rd landed with a lot of SCVs and mules, he's also going to be having a very fast double drop of Marines coming across, stimming into Solar's base and trying to kick his ass. Now against the normal 2-1-1, without the 3rd command center, players like to open up with 1 fast Evo chamber, make a carapace upgrade, as that really helps their Queens and Zerglings trade against the Marines, and it's not quite as greedy as trying to squeeze double upgrades in. We'll see if Solar thinks that's the way to go, or, because it's a 3rd command center, maybe you just go straight for double Evo chamber. Either way, it's hard to establish a 4th base early as the Zerg player. You do end up being stuck on 3 bases for a bit longer, unless you can sneak it up here and they don't realize they keep hitting this angle and not knowing that you've snuck a hatchery up. For now, the creep is spreading. We've got only 2 tumors out active. Lots more queens on the way, going up to 7 queens so far. Nice movement. Hellions do get a creep tumor there. Spread another tumor. Solar, he's got to respread on the right side. Right now, he's keeping all of his queens together. And double Evo chamber is going to be the play. I like that. I don't like the placement of these Evo chambers. If a drop comes in, the Marines could wedge themselves in here, guys. And the only angle the Zerglings could attack from is there. Creates a bit of a weird little corner. In general, trying to not wall off any pathways so that your queens can easily move in between your bases and not creating any little choke points is a good rule for Zerg. That's why I always think Evo Chambers, Bane Nest, Spire in this area, usually pretty good in between your main and your natural. Definitely not out on the edge. And not out here either, as it could get killed by a frontal push. Nonetheless, 1-1 upgrades are going to be starting up just after the 5-minute mark. Baneling Nest is on the way. We don't have a lair started yet. Okay, Baneling Nest before lair. Seems a little cautious in my mind. I really do think he needs to get that lair started, and finally it does. But Solar, he's going to be so late on Baneling speed. Lair starting at 5:30. We're going to be looking at like an 8-minute 30 Baneling speed, and that's just awkward, mate. I mean, he does catch the third command center landing with a Zergling. Forces the SCVs to fight. HEROMARINE's already got a third barracks up. Double Engineering Bay is upgrading, and he's about to join up at the front. He's got 3 Hellions defending his third. Marines on the front going to fight the Queens. Where are the Zerglings? It's not a lot of Zerglings, guys, nor is it a super hefty Queen count. 5 up front. Transfuse gets forced out. HEROMARINE's going to go around. He's going to try and get into the main base. Work this angle. I love that there's a Spore here. It will need to shuffle over to the left, though. Now that that creep's there, and Solar, he's on his A game. He does it, and that's going to make it really costly if you want to drop in there. HEROMARINE goes around. He's going to dance around this triangle. He can drop there. He can drop here. So he can drop up here, here, or down here in the main. Going into the main base. He's just going to go right on past that Queen. Oh, dude. Oh my gosh. Barely keeps that medevac alive, but he's going to have to just wait there in the corner for now. HEROMARINE should be adding his 4th and 5th barracks any moment now. And probably add them here or here. Armory goes down before 4th and 5th barracks. Very unusual, but makes sense. It's 1-1, of course, very close to finish, so does need to continue those upgrades. Solar, his Baneling speed has finally started, and it will be done 50 seconds. Okay, so about 7:30, 7:40. So I think it'll be okay. Interestingly, a tank push coming for HEROMARINE, and actually, he's even building a 3rd tank. He's going nothing but tanks. So he's expecting a Lurker style or a Hydraling Bane style out of Solar. He is not expecting Massling Bane, and I think that would be right because there are 5 gases taken. So far, it's just Massling Bane. And the thing is, you do not need this much gas for just Ling Bane, but does prepare him for a Hive and Ultra Tech switch or a Lurker switch, depending on which one he goes. Lings are going to counterattack the 3rd base. Not much there right now. Okay, the SCVs, a couple of them go down. The Marines will pull back and defend the choke point at the same time. Tanks are there in a lovely siege location. Bane speed still 15 seconds from finishing. Lings do get 7 SCVs, so not a bad play. These tanks have set up on this corner. I'd like to see those Hellions morph into Hellbats. Beautiful. HEROMARINE's going to use those, so we have Zerglings flank the tanks. They'll need to have Banelings to kill the Hellbats, otherwise they're not going to get anything done. Baneling speed finally kicking in here. Hydroden Infestation Pit going down, preparing for that Lurker tech switch. HEROMARINE, he's been out here for a while, and I think at this point it's time to leave. He does actually bring in the double drop and joins up with it. He managed to sneak those out the left side of the map. Well done. Does get a creep tumor, and Solar thinks about fighting, but he doesn't go for it. Solar is really biding his time very well. 2-2 is on the way for him. If he can wait for 2-2 before big fights happen, that'd be awesome. That is a big if, though. Here we go. Ling Bane coming in from all sides, and the Banelings do clear up those Hellbats. They're going after the Marines now. The tanks go down. And, a little slow to pick up some of those Marines. Banelings do kind of hit some of them. And he gets caught out here, does HEROMARINE. I think HEROMARINE might have screwed up. This rally here, a bit awkward. This redrop also looking very awkward right now. If he just has enough Marines, though, this could turn south for Solar. Solar does lose quite a few Banelings on the retreat. At the end of that, you can see the efficiency is obviously decent for HEROMARINE, but he lost all of his tanks. And for a single factory style, just pumping out tanks, that's never great. You're so slow to replenish. It's essentially a mass Marine style with a tank or 2 to support it. Mass Marine against Ling Bane, not always the best thing, especially once those Lurkers come out. Second factory is on the way there as HEROMARINE's Marines just keep dropping, trading, and then pulling back. Dropping, trading, and then pulling back. Re-dropping the Marines again, and just pick off the Baneling, kill a few Zerglings, pick up and leave. And you can just rinse and repeat over and over again. This is the Terran tax. The fact that the Zerg did not go Mutas or Corruptors means they have to deal with the Terran being very obnoxious with those drops. 4th command center is there. We've got a reactor building here on the second factory. 5 barracks are pumping away at these Marines very hard. Drilling claws is being added in, so I do like the idea of mixing tanks and Widow Mines. Without Widow Mines, Massling Bane very hard for HEROMARINE to deal with. Runs in on the bottom right, finds some creep tumors, not bad. The Lings are there, he's got to watch out. Just one Baneling. As long as he clicks on that Baneling. He does not click on that Baneling. Saves 8 of those Marines and then does come back. 4th command center, like I said before, almost finished. And a Viper. A single Viper on the way. Hydras are starting to come out. Those Hydra upgrades coming in as well. It's been just Ling Bane and pure defense for the most part for Solar. I'd love to see him get ready to do a bit of a roll-in with some more Ling Bane on the front. The Marines dropping in that little corner there, a crevice. The Zerglings chasing into it, but very nice. It's something about crevices and talcum powder and fucking you know, flabby, sweaty folds in the skin. There's something to do with that. I don't know. An analogy almost formed in my mind. It made no sense, and then I just had to explain and share how ridiculous my brain is. I don't know why that popped into my head, but it did. Anyways, HEROMARINE! Oh, it baits! Oh my god! Fucking A, man. Fucking A, dude. Ah, shit, dude. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, wait. The Marine spready was pretty good. HEROMARINE relentless. How did he win that fight? 2-1 versus 2-2. I thought there was enough Lingbane to overwhelm him, but I think the fucking thing there was all right, man. Oh, Lingbane Hydra's gonna jump on top. Okay, he does pick up, pull back. We've got the Marines picking up into the medevacs on the left. The command center on the fourth is finally going down. His base count really is shit compared to the Zerg. Oh, there was a double lib during that, but great drone pulls. So while he was dealing with that, HEROMARINE sieged up a lib there and a lib there. This Spore Crawler, I think, already pushed one back. The double lib siege is a dirty, dirty play, man. Oh, get out of there. Okay, tries to focus down the Banelings, only gets one before he has to pick up. And right now we've got a Nidus Worm coming out for Solar. So Solar's already thinking about popping that dirty Nidus in the main and ending HEROMARINE. In game one, it's been a very action-packed macro game. The Widowmine count is very scary. He burrows and then he unburrows, picks up the Marines on the front and tries to get out of there. He spreads the parasitic bombed medevac, but the Lingbane finally get that cleanup they've been looking for so long. On the left side, though, no Banelings there, and the Marines, when wedged in a corner, I'm telling you, man, those are some sweaty Marines. They do not let the Lings find what they need. And, okay, does pick up, pull it back. We've got Ghosts on the way as well. So the Ghost transition has begun. 5th Command Center finally starts up. The thing here is, even though HEROMARINE's trading really well, I mean, look at the units lost. Really nice, 5,000 resource advantage. I just worry because he doesn't have much behind this, guys. He never was focusing on his economy. He was focusing on attacking. Like I said, relentless play in his opponent's face play. And it's a good way. It's gone good on the trades, but if he loses one fight, he cannot reproduce. Whereas, of course, Solar on 93 workers is doing great. And oh, shit. Nidus Worm in the main. And it's 6 whole Zerglings. Elite 6 Zerglings pop out in the main base, and they damage 2 Marines and an SCV. Amazing play. Let's be real, though. It's actually more of a distraction. Pushes up the guts with the Lingbane Hydra. Oh, that parasitic bomb and the Hydra is devastated. The medevacs, there's so many medevacs going down. More Banelings rolling on in those Hydras. And the Lingbane need to get on in the business. Get on up there, mate. Oh, okay. Good spready on those Banelings at the last second. Great Ghost pickup to salvage a few of these Ghosts, but the mineral line is toast. Oh, that's burnt to shit. A lot of Hydras do go down on the tail end of it. But you know what? 93 drones for the Zerg. He can afford to trade all day. And I said, if HEROMARINE loses one fight, he can't afford to replenish it. Well, he just lost one fight. And now look at the supply. Todd, somewhere at a casino in Vegas, is going, look-a-dee, 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 look-a-dee. And honestly, I can't disagree with him. The supply looks very rough for HEROMARINE. He's going to try and counterattack. We've got Libs, Marines, Ghosts all counterattacking as hard as they can. And I honestly think Solar has the numbers, and he's going to go for it. Abducts would be great, but an EMP does hit the Viper and cucks it. The Ghost Core on the bottom right side saves 3 of them, but he is just overwhelmed, outgunned, and outnumbered. GG, well played. Alright guys, a nice game 1 victory there, weathering the German Storm of Steel. Up here in the top left side, this is the Red Zerg Solar. His opponent in the bottom right, aside, half Italian, half German. He's got that dual citizenship, likes to make pizza on his stream. In between telling his audience how bad his Protoss opponents on the ladder are, this is Big Gabe. HEROMARINE representing Mouse Esports for about 10 years now. He's been on that team since he was a young little boy. Recently had a Shopify signature series video come out for him and Lambo that were released during this Katowice. For those of you who didn't see it, if you just Google signature series HEROMARINE, check it out. It's on YouTube. Beautiful little, they're usually about 10 minutes, 8 minutes, something like that. These mini documentaries, essentially, where you get to know the players a lot better. And it's always such a nice insight into their life. And there's footage of HEROMARINE when he won his first Meisterschaft, his first, what used to be called, what was it called? Was it called EPT? It might have had a similar, it was like a, whatever it was. It became the Meisterschaft. Anyway, footage of HEROMARINE when he was 13. beating Hasuobs and Zocker to win the German circuit tournament, and you know, seeing him grow up with this game and just getting wild and messy at the Home Story Cups, raised by the bunch of degenerates over at Take TV, the psychopaths who are just always hosting fun StarCraft events and hitting the liquor and having a good time. But Gabe has developed into such an incredible player, and I feel like there was some turning point when he said, I'm going to be a streamer, I'm not going to be competing seriously anymore, in like 2017, 2018. There was some mental shift he made where he started focusing on having an audience and a community and getting out and about more. And I mean, looking at him, it looks like he's been working out more and stuff. Basically, I think he just stopped living and dying off of the back of every result. There's always someone who's going to be able to beat you, unless you're the best player in the world. In every StarCraft tournament, there's so many diverse strategies. There's always things that surprise you or that you're not prepared for. It's a grind. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon, you know. And I think HEROMARINE somehow took the pressure off his shoulders when he made that decision and started having the best results of his career. And from there, it's just been a 4-year journey, 5-year journey of getting better and better more consistently and just being more and more chilled out when he goes to these tournaments and not as ragey. He's still very elitist and shits on his opponents constantly on his stream, even the ones that he's kind of hung out with friendly at events. So I think just about every player at this point is a little salty about the way Gabe talks about them on his stream after they play a match, where they're like, oh, man, just had a really fun match with Gabe, and they open his stream and he's like, ha, oh my god, he's played so fucking bad. Oh, this was such a shit game. But it is the way it is, that's who he is, and that's why he's quite fun to watch, is that at best mild condescension and sometimes outright elitism. But he's very tough on himself as well as his opponents, this HEROMARINE, and it's just the way he is. Goes for a third command center opening one more time here. Solar, by the way, is just an absolute beast. It was good to see Solar look so good and get to this quarterfinals. I was so happy because I'm a big Solar fanboy. I really think Solar has been one of the smartest players to copy in a lot of regards. PvZ in Heart of the Swarm, I improved a lot by studying his play because he really understood tech switches, and over the years, Solar's been one of the most consistent players to understand where Mutalisks fit into the matchup of ZVP. But his Zerg vs Terran has gone from being effective with some cheeky builds to being just rock solid and one of the best defensive macro Zergs. We saw it in that last game. Let's see what he can do here. Creep Tumor does get sniped there. Easy snipe for HEROMARINE. Just going to rotate on around, and Solar just trying to deflect. It's Hellion Banshee coming in this time around, so he's going to need to be opting for those Spore Crawlers. He does go for the Overlord sacrifice, so he doesn't choose to put the Overlord on the cliff. And HEROMARINE happy to build barracks right underneath the Overlord. No secrets here. Says, you know what I'm doing. I never play mech anyway, as if you even needed to scout this. Does see Cloak on the way. We've actually, as there's still a little bit of downtime, I mean, speaking of people undervaluing players and being surprised by their results, and a lot of people did for both of these guys. Solar's really unlucky. He's going to bomb out in the groups. HEROMARINE as well. Ryung was another player that I admitted, and we were talking at the start of the open bracket with the other casters and analysts and stuff, and I was saying, I think Ryung is just going to die first round, maybe win one match first, like a Percival type player who's really inexperienced, and yeah, I was a massive hater, and Ryung definitely surprised. He definitely surprised us and played like an absolute boss, especially in TVP. So that was one of our lovely surprises at this tournament, him being just on fire. Nice Creep Tumor spread. I like the way Solar's really deflecting the Hellions. Gets the Reaper kill there. Now, the Banshees have done nada this game. Remember that Cloak got scouted? So, what did he do? As soon as the Overlord died, cancelled Cloak, cancelled the Banshee, lifted the starport up and said, screw it, let's just make one Cloakless Banshee. You have to build spores. You'll probably even make an Overseer blind just to help with the defense, assuming I'm going to come in with Cloak. And that's an overcommitment. I get ahead. Evo Chamber does start Carapace. He's got to remember melee. Solar probably thought he started both upgrades, but he's forgotten melee. That's a problem. He's going to try and take this fourth base, a very European expansion pattern. Solar's basically saying, I have to control this watchtower, this area, and it's all about spreading the creep forward on this area, which is why I'm kind of confused that his creep is so slow right now. He needs to get creep to here so we can intercept pushes as they come. Now, something I'd love to see HEROMARINE abuse on this map, guys, is if you put a tank there, it reaches so far forward, and you can branch forward with Marines and constantly bait the Zerg into this area where they're just getting shelled by a tank that they can never reach with Ling Bane. It's a disgusting move that can be so effective. Banshee comes in, grabs one drone, thinks about grabbing another one, but Spore Crawler trick does save it there. Nicely done. Hellions clean up a Zergling, and they're going to try and slow down this creep spread. Armory's on the way behind this, should time out nicely. HEROMARINE's been very good about his armory timing. One of the most disappointing things with Clem, Maru, and a bunch of these other top tier Terrans, I feel like they're always dancing on the edge of reacting and kind of adjusting and adapting to what their opponent's doing. And HEROMARINE, it feels like, is just so much tighter and consistent on his build. And that's why we've been seeing 1-1 kick in very early. 2-1 if, or 2-2 if he has the gas kick in soon behind that. Guys, is this an 8 barracks? This is a very aggressive... Oh shit! He didn't build any workers for his third! This is the Spirit build. This is a build Spirit came up with a while ago. This is a very feisty push. I didn't even realize, guys, he's completely cut SCV production to get his barracks down early. It's a giant all-in. Not only was I surprised, Solar was surprised. He went to 74 workers. Oh no, he's got to keep the Banelings alive. You cannot throw your Banelings away. He's going to go for a big Zergling run by. He's already done some damage there. More Zerglings coming in. HEROMARINE, no, don't go down there. HEROMARINE, what are you doing? Oh my god, if Solar just A-moved that, he would have killed it, but he's got so much pressure on him at home. These tanks, this tank has already killed a bunch of Banelings. He's trying to clean up these Marines. Will he have enough? The Zerglings are coming in from behind, and oh, I think he's done it. I think Solar's done it. He should be able to clean up these tanks, but wait, more Marines coming in from the side. He's got to get rid of these fucking tanks right now. He does get rid of them. No Banelings morphing. Oh no, no Banelings morphing. This is why you can never get caught without Banelings, because then the Marines become absolutely indomitable. They are just unstoppable. Oh my god, the Marines, and you see what happens just a moment without Banelings. And Solar, oh, so unfortunate that he did not just overwhelm that Marine tank rally. The way HEROMARINE brought that out, it was very lucky for him, unlucky for Solar, but it all comes down to the pressure. Luck or skill, it all comes down to the pressure. These mistakes aren't pure luck, it's the pressure that HEROMARINE was mounting on him. It's unfair of me to just say he was lucky there, because when you're in your opponent's face pushing into their third, it is very hard for Solar to monitor those Lings on the other side of the map. These Marines just traded like absolute gods. And you know what? Solar's still on 4 bases. Solar's still got 58 drones. Solar is still up 12 workers, but HEROMARINE is not putting down the aggression. He's not slowing down on the aggression. Oh, he barely gets those Banelings. His Queens need to get out of there. They've used all their transfusers. Oh man, this is a lot more Banelings coming in. He's probably going to need to pull back. Goes for a spready, but I think this is a good fight for Solar. Is it though? Oh, big Baneling does hit about 5 Marines. One of the medevacs goes down as well. The Lings trying to get on top of just this handful of Marines. Can they do it? The tank kills another 2 Banelings. HEROMARINE's focus fire is just out of this world. And do the Marines, the tank are there. HEROMARINE is just charging on forward. This is looking absolutely beautiful. He's in between the Zerg rallies, and that means the Zerg cannot gather their forces up and defend. Once the Terrans created this salient within the line, when they've pushed through, it's only a matter of time until they break the back of the Zerg, because look at this, the Lings are popping into the fucking Marines. It's not working for him. This is so deadly. HEROMARINE moves the libs forward, moves the tanks forward, the Queens, the last line. They take out one lib. Can they get the other one? The Marines come forward. The Banelings force them back. The Queens barely take out the Liberator. Picks up 8 of those Marines ineffectively, or effectively spreading versus those libs. The Queens go down, and now he just needs to move north. The drones! Run! Oh! And the tank is there as well. Those Zerglings all just derping, and Solar caught off guard. What a dirty build by HEROMARINE. Let's check what timing do those barracks go down, guys. So you can see from basically it's a completely normal 3 command center, and it changes. Not only did he get some money back from the Banshee and the cloak getting cancelled, but also he stops building SCVs once he hits 48. So he builds a few SCVs out of the third, gets to 2 bases of workers, floats the third out, and then he just stops to look. That dies. Cancel. And he's already going up to 5 barracks at 5 minutes. And he's actually even paused SCVs, no, he's supply blocked. Fair enough. Hits a supply block at 61, which maybe is even a planned supply block. Oh, I think that's part of the build. I think that might actually be part of the build, guys. You purposely get supply blocked because you've already saturated your minerals. And you're basically, and it's only 3 gases. You never take a 4th gas. Oh, this is so cool. Yeah. So you purposefully don't build any depots. And then he's like, No, he built the depots before the barracks. Never mind. That is a mistake. Okay, so HEROMARINE even fucked up his build order a little bit here, guys, and did hit a bit of a supply block. And then he goes 4th and 5th barracks before engineering bays because all he needs is 1-1 and as many Marines as possible. Because yes, he'll add the +2 attack, but it's an afterthought. It's something that comes in much later. The first attack is crucial. So he basically cuts SCVs a little bit, 4th and 5th barracks, double engineering bay, goes back to SCVs for a little bit, but only to 48 SCVs, and it's just nothing but Marines, tanks, medevacs, Marines, tanks, medevacs. And you can see here, 46 workers, his last 2 SCVs get built, sends him out to his 3rd, and the Hellions, look at that. So if Zerglings run in, they run into the Hellions, they will not see that this 3rd has no workers on it, and he's not building workers. So that's why he positions these units in front, and that's why Solar, thinking he's in a normal macro game, goes to 75 workers, when the correct call was to stop at 60 workers, 4 gases, and do nothing but make Ling Bane. If he did that, this would have been a much different game. Perfect play by HEROMARINE to catch him off guard on the small map. Lovely, lovely push. GG's. I'm caught off by an all-in that last game. Solar's got to be a little annoyed at that. Kaizy Gaming. Repping him here. His opponent in the top right. Mouse Esports, HEROMARINE. Now, HEROMARINE mixing in a lot more all-ins and cheeky plays in this tournament. And he even said on his stream, breaking it down after the tournament, he's like, yeah, guys, I went further than Cure. Not because I'm better than him, just because I all-inned more than him. I just did more cheeses and all-ins and dirty builds, and you know, a lot of them happen to work. So HEROMARINE, as always, condescending to his opponents, also to his own abilities sometimes, and he'd just say, hey, it's not condescension, it's just being realistic. And I think we're so used to a lot of us mincing our words and that sort of stuff that you know, it's hard for us to take it sometimes, but I do appreciate his candid way of analyzing the games. Now, that last game was obviously not something he's going to repeat again. 3rd command center into the surprise all-in, but it's a very frustrating build to play against because it's very hard to spot it coming. As Solar, it just looks like a totally normal build, and he's like, lol, stop building workers, have very fast 4 reactors up, just pumping those Marines out and kicking some ass. Kicking some ass. So we've got very standard opening, similar to game 1, but he does go 2nd gas, which means this will be a slower command center. Question is, what's that for? Is it going to be just for straight Banshees for safety? Are we going to do a Hellbat timing or something like that? You know, Hellbat Marauder would be nice. Do we see a battlecruiser into bio? I don't expect to see mech out of HEROMARINE at all, but you never know. There was a lot of mech in this tournament, mostly from Maru. Dream did it a little bit as well as Bunny, I think, might have mixed it in there. So, interesting. Always something that's I'm hoping to see more of, because it is fun to see that different style, you know. So drastically different in how it plays out. Of course, the 2nd gas means starport down very early. Now, something I learned yesterday, guys, is it's actually really easy as a Zerg to tell if they've gone 3rd command center, because that command center gives them so much supply that they don't need to build depots for a long time. But if you see depots starting at about 3 minutes 30, then you know it's just this 2 gas build with the fastest starport and Hellion production could turn into something more aggressive. And if it's the 3 CC build, then these depots won't start till after 4 minutes. So you can see here, we're coming up on 3:30. First depot goes down right on 3:25. Whereas that wouldn't go down till after 4 minutes otherwise. Shout out to Scarlet for pointing out why I'm a baboon in my Twitch chat. And I was like, how do I tell which one it is? This game's unfair. She's like, you know, you can just see the depots. Big brain Scarlet always helping us out. Fusion core! Oh, Big Daddy Gabe trying some different things there. Gets a creep tumor as well. Solar's going to go for the Overlord sacrifice though, and there's only 1 Marine, so I do think there's a good chance of that getting in and seeing what's up. And even just seeing a starport with a tech lab but no cloak going is a bit of a tell. So if I was Gabe, I'd start cloak here. Fake cloak, dude! I'd go cloak Viking. But he's focused on the front right now with the Reaper Hellion. He's only killed 1 tumor and 1 Zergling though, and I mean, that's going to see everything. He didn't even micro the Marine. Notice if he stutter stepped the Marine a little bit more, he would have got more shots off and might have stopped at seeing the fusion core. Probably wouldn't have been able to, but yeah, surprising that the HEROMARINE's not trying to hide this. Starts up his battlecruiser. Of course, he does already have his 3rd command center building, and it started at 3 minutes 50. So he cut a lot of Hellions. What I'm impressed with here for Gabe, guys, is he did not build Hellions, so he could get the third command center, the battlecruiser, then he goes back into Hellions. So it's just, I'm going to build 4 Hellions, I'm going to build a Reaper, poke with those, I'll wall off with a nice quick third command center and a poorly placed... Actually, no, yeah, he needs another... You need a double overlap, because command centers, hatcheries, and Nexi have curved corners, guys. So now it's a full wall with that depot going down. Finds out. Now, Solar, did he see anything there? I mean, he's already seen the fusion core finish, so... He knows there's going to be a battlecruiser. He's going to go Spore Crawler in each base. And he should know about 5 minutes 30 is usually when the battlecruiser pops in. So that's when you want to have 4 queens in the main with the Spore Crawler. And if Gabe teleports on top of the Spore, that would be so dumb. Yeah, I've seen Maru even do it. I think in this same tournament in the group stage, it got spotted. He was like, yeah, I'm going to put a battle. I'm just going to teleport. And it's like, dude, you know the other guy saw your fusion core. You know he's a pro, right? You're not playing amateurs. This one off to the side of the Spore. Still going to take some damage immediately from the Queens and the Spore Crawler, but at least this way he can then quickly dance down to the natural. Bounce between the mineral lines, look for those exposed drones, and he grabs 1, 2, 3 drones, almost gets a 4th, not quite, and he's just going to pull it back for now. So HEROMARINE there, doing all right. Good defense for Solar. Solar's got to feel happy with this, mate. Third command center does go down. Does Solar know if it's mech or bio? He hasn't confirmed that yet, hasn't been able to get a scout in. But what's he going to do? Muted play, something a lot of people like to do because you're like, hey, muters will shut down the battlecruiser and they're just a good unit to have. But Solar traditionally has been more of a lurker boy recently. He's not really been enjoying muted play. I think the guys like Dark, Serral, and Maru, Dark, Serral, and Raynor, sorry, that opt for that sometimes makes them a bit more dangerous. Hellions do get surrounded here. Not sure if this was the best trade for HEROMARINE. Does get, I mean, he gets 9 workers, so yeah, kills some Zerglings as well. Does waste a bit of mining time, but he sacrifices map control, and that's the weakness of what he just did. His Hellions all going down. Battlecruiser are going to try and kill this 4th hatchery. Queens are going to have to quickly get down here, and you can see he's got a queen or 2 on the main. The other queen's covered down. I think that's a cancel, guys. Down to 70, 60, 50. Cancel. The earlier you cancel, the earlier you can rebuild it. So there is an argument sometimes behind canceling faster rather than later. And an armory does go down. It's just a full bio tank build from here. The battlecruiser still being a bit of a cheeky dickhead. Grabs a queen. Bit more mining time there. 1 more drone. And of course it can teleport home at any moment. I think he'd just like to get in for 1 or 2 more drones if he can. Overseer in the base sees everything. And it's bio mine, guys. Straight into widow mines. So rather than playing tanks, I love the way Gabe is changing it up game to game. He's not playing straight tanks this time. Unfortunately for him, Solar is actually playing Hydra Bane this time. He's not going straight up to lurkers. So the thing is, Hydras can really help deal with some of those widow mines and gun them down before they fire. So this is actually really cool. Marines on the left side getting Overlord. They're going to go for the hatchery. Lings and Banes running on in. He does try to pick up. He's going to go... Does he use the fuck ledge? The fuck ledge? Yeah! He's going to put a few Marines on the fuck ledge. Very annoying to fight them there. And those 2 Marines just gonna go down to those queens. No combat shields just yet, and they cannot see those queens up on that higher level of elevation. Battlecruiser coming across the map 1 more time. We've got a Widow Mine drop moving down the right side of the map. This Overseer still just camping in the main base. Big Gabe with some Bronze League minimap awareness. There's been a red dot in his main this whole time, and he's not getting rid of it. Obviously, I'm kind of just making fun there. It's not the biggest priority. Wow! And the Marines do pull back. Because the thing is, there's no surprises. HEROMARINE isn't doing any big surprise strategy. It's like, dude, I'm just playing StarCraft here, and he's already building 2 more barracks. They'll get tech labs for Marauder production and then Ghost production eventually. He's gathering up some more Marines in the main. The battlecruiser down here. Just going to skirmish with the queens. Doesn't want to fight 4 queens. Of course, they've got plenty of transfuse. And the Widow Mine drop going to come in. Now, if Gabe can distract Solar, let's see, Solar's camera. It enters his vision in the bottom right, but look at this. The Marines in the top left distract him. He hasn't noticed the Widow Mine drop. Oh, no. Oh, no. Let's go back. Oh, no. He's focused on that fight in the top. The Widow Mines do come in. Boom, boom. Oh, 15 workers. And look at this HEROMARINE shoving aggressively just to keep Solar occupied on the left side. Beautiful play here by Gabe. That being said, it's a lot of Banelings, and he's kind of on creep with these Marines. There's not a lot of Zerglings and Hydras, though, to back it up. When it's just Banelings pretty much on their own, the Marines can spready. Ah! Okay, guys, we were talking in between the games about how he was splitting like Van Damme in that previous map. Well, that was splitting like my fucking I don't know, basically, you know, like a nerd who's been sitting at the computer for fucking 14 hours a day, hasn't exercised in 7 years, done a single stretch in his goddamn life. That there was nasty. The medevac tries to get 2 Widow Mines out, but still 10 more drones on that next wave. My point was that was literally someone who's been asleep for 10 years and their whole body aches and is sore. Someone who not only cannot touch their toes, but cannot touch their knees. We're talking that level of inflexibility. That last lack of spread really hurt HEROMARINE there. Still got the battlecruiser coming in, being a bit of a dickhead though. He's going to go after these drones as much as he can. A random accidental Hellmuffin comes out, speaks to the pressure that HEROMARINE is piling on Solar right now, keeping him pinned back here. Everybody knows the accidental Hellmuffin, the single swarm host. It's a misclick that happens in high pressure situations. And Solar is like, well, fuck it, you might as well do something. Go, Gary the Hellmuffin. Unfortunately, he's been spotted by Gabe, and he will get taken out. Gary the Hellmuffin unable to even throw a single swarm host wave into the base. Spores are well placed here, one there as well as one here. This is one of the most annoying drop angles on this map, so Solar is well prepared. Hydra Bane is here. He's got very few Zerglings though, and no Vipers to deal with the tanks. Hydra Bane, very hard to trade very efficiently. The SCVs get pulled back, Bio stims down, not a good angle. The Zerglings have to pull back and rotate. Once again, HEROMARINE going for a very slow 4th base. It's floating out to that left side, but he's piling on the aggression, and that is what HEROMARINE does. He says, look, just keep the unit count high so I can trade aggressively and trade well. Does trade a few Marauders for a whole bunch of Banelings. He's got some Widow Mines and some tanks back there. A tank, I should say. The Widow Mines are going to try and burrow to punish the Ling Bane for taking out the siege tank. They get a decent shot. Still got some Widow Mines and medevacs on the left side as well. Going to rotate down to the right is HEROMARINE. He's going to try and abuse this ledge and kill a few of these drones from the low ground, as well as deny the creep spread and map control. He's getting a 4th, 3-3 behind it. And remember, guys, he is on 7 barracks. Not the full 8 barracks that a lot of players go, but still, he's got triple tech labs, which means 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 tech labs. So he can build a lot of ghosts and marauders as needed to back this up. And he's also well ahead on 3-3. That being said, Carapace, pretty fast level 3 there for Solar. And Solar, he's got out that single Viper, still looking for a way to land some big spells. He's also got the Lurker Den, which is coming into the game very, very late. He's mostly playing Hydraling Bane still for the next few minutes, but after that, he will go into the Lurker stage. HEROMARINE shoving on forward, relentless biomine aggression. And these trades, we've got to check in on this. 4,000 resources ahead in the units lost. It's pretty good trading for HEROMARINE. Definitely, even though he's playing on a little bit of a smaller economy, this is not a 90 or 95 drone economy from that game 1. The Lingbane Hydra going to roll on forward. The Marauders hold their ground while the Marines spread backwards. Beautiful micro. You could tell the way HEROMARINE kind of control clicked him and pulled him back. He's now got Ghosts arriving on the front. Or Ghost, I should say, as it's just one for now. Single Zergling going to try and deny this SCV. Planetary says fuck off. Does shoot him in the face. Creep Tumor is there as well. Scan. It's going to go down. Battlecruiser here. It's going to try and move down to this right side. Lings, Banes, Hydras moving on forward. We've got battlecruisers roaming around this right side. The Bio on the low ground. I'd love to see another scan to get rid of this creep, but the Lingbane Hydra, will it try to sandwich this? I wouldn't mind him trying. There's still Widow Mines, though, spread across the map. So many more command centers and barracks coming up right now for HEROMARINE. He's getting cemented in the late game. He doesn't quite have 3-3 just yet. +3 attack's going to kick in, though. This might be an anti-timing for Solar. He's going to run forward. There's no Widow Mines. He's got to just pick up and leave. And a few units go down, but not too many. The battlecruiser left behind. Oh no, the Hydra's finally going to get revenge. And they do take that down. And here we go, overwhelming and clearing HEROMARINE off this side of the map, defending for like 7 minutes straight. And Solar finally says, get out of here, you disgusting Terran piece of shit. How dare you be the one who's attacking all game long. And finally pushes HEROMARINE back. Immediately, HEROMARINE gathers up his units and pushes back forward, though. Solar falls back. Widow Mine's coming off cooldown. Oh! Good spready. There's a reactive spready there from Solar. Good splits from him against the Widow Mines. +3 Carapace not quite finished. Still about 20 seconds out. He's going to go for it before then. Feeling he has the numbers. Does Solar. He's got to move these Hydras in. Parasitic Bomb on the medevac. Not a bad move. And that was a bit of a rout, wasn't it? The Massling Bane Hydra capitalizing on HEROMARINE being a little overextended on the front. HEROMARINE's trying to take a planetary. He's trying to scramble home. His unit count is low. Scramble he must. Scramble indeed. His Ghosts get caught out in the open. 2 Ghosts go down. Widow Mine's trying to burrow. A good Baneling spready there. Solar's on his A game. He's got to take out that planetary. It's just sitting there in the open, mate. What are we doing? You've got the numbers advantage. You've got to capitalize. He's going to go up the guts, but Solar indecisive right now. He can't make up his mind. Okay, a few units go off to the left. They should be able to take out the planetary. The Baneling Hydra runs in, but he sees a big arc of Terran, falls back to the left. The planetary does go down just before it finishes. Okay, Solar does get some big damage there. It does get some very nice damage. HEROMARINE immediately realizes I'm way too defensive right now. He moves an orbital out to the 5th base. That's not a planetary. It's not great. But he sends a marine drop down the left side. He's still even in supply. Unfortunately for him, though, lurkers and upgrades are hitting the field. +3 melee, +2 range are going to round out the upgrades. 6 lurkers are there. Seismic Spines is already made. And Adaptive Talons. So these are fully upgraded lurkers other than their attack upgrades, which are not that important. And HEROMARINE... Ghost count, only 4 ghosts on the map right now. That Overseer is still sitting in the main. You've got to be fucking kidding me. This Overseer is literally just a pervert in plain sight. This is literally, I mean, this is reminding me of 80s pornos. You guys anyone here anyone ever old enough to watch the internet? There'd always just be some guy for some reason wearing a leather cap just touching himself in the back of the shot, and you're like, why is he there? And they're like, oh, it's meant to make you feel more comfortable about watching the video. Because you're like, look, that guy's watching, you're watching too. And you're like, this is the strangest film trope I've ever seen. Like, why is this? This is not necessary. That essentially is what that Overseer is. He's just kind of hanging out in there. You're like, why is he here? Why has no one told him to leave? This is really weird. It's making me uncomfortable. HEROMARINE apparently is okay with being watched. He does come from Germany, and I've heard a lot about their dungeon films. So apparently they're into that sort of stuff. Orbital is wide open. Ling Runway finally gets in there. Oh, no, 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 no. That's a lot of SCVs going to fall. These are 3-3 Adrenal Zerglings, and they are absolutely cracked. The 3-3 Adrenal Zerglings are one of the most ridiculous damage output units in the game, and they kill a lot of SCVs there. Gabe's still got a decent count. Pushes forward, but he pushes into lurkers, guys. A Nidus Worm's about to come up, pushing maybe a little too far forward. He's got to be careful. We've still got an Overseer in the main. Solar didn't even realize it. He sent a new Overseer, not realizing that he had vision of the main for the entire fucking game. And he's finally going to throw it down. The guy touching himself in the corner served a purpose. He's going to throw the Nidus Worm up and oh, no, 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 not like this, not like this, not like this. There's lurkers in there. There's lurkers in there. Gabe's so busy pushing the front and the Nidus popping up 3 lurkers in the main. That's going to be such a nightmare for him to deal with. Solar wisely gives up this base, but uh-oh, a nice drop in the right is maybe going to take that hatchery out. HEROMARINE doing a pretty good job here of branching out. 3 lurkers. It's only 3 lurkers. If there were some lings as well, he'd be tearing down the production. As it is, going for some tech structures, taking out some of those add-ons as well. Mass Zergling run by could be huge. He's going to go for this command center. It is wide open right now. HEROMARINE has a giant army, but it might be his last army. The orbital is going to get annihilated. He does lift the orbital in time to save it. Hydra Bane is there. Where are the lurkers at home? Where are the lurkers? There's so few lurkers right now for Solar. He's mostly on Hydraling Bane. He's running back and forth, unsure whether he can take this fight. Lings are going to go for the planetary. He doesn't get the repair. HEROMARINE does not get the repair. A planetary goes down to Zerglings. That is not meant to really happen. Adrenal Zerglings are very high damage, but the splash damage is so freaking good at clearing them out. HEROMARINE pushing him back into the main base. Solar desperately trying to hang on. He's got to get these lurkers up. I can't believe he didn't have any lurkers at home. The Lings do breach the natural. He's taking out siege tanks, and I think he's broken the production. HEROMARINE's production is getting breached. Those Lings just need to go to the high ground. Oh my god, HEROMARINE's got to raise the depots and build more units. He's shoving into the main at the same time. He's going to take down one of these lurkers before it finishes. A snipe does take out another lurker and another lurker. He's sniping them all down. The ghosts are doing their work. The tank's on the low ground. He even picks up and saves some of the ghosts. But at home, his production is absolutely ransacked. HEROMARINE's production is shit, but his army is huge. And the fact that Solar's being pushed back into his main is presenting a fantastic push angle. HEROMARINE taking advantage of the fact that Solar did not have any lurkers on the defense. His whole move, shoving lurkers and Lings on the backstab, was massive. It should have been game-winning, but he did not have the units to stall out this push. Hydra Bane is not a long-ranged army. It's an army that has to just collapse on them and overwhelm them. Whereas lurkers with their 10 range are so good at stalling out pushes. It's so micro-intensive, slow and methodical to push through. The Lings find the base. The Drilly boys apparently not realizing that their drills are smaller than those Zerglings' claws, and they do take a bad fight. This is an absolute disaster for Solar, though, because he has lost so much of his shit. He's got minerals, he's got hatcheries mining all around the map. He's going to go in, though, and these tanks are just deadly. This drop down here in the bottom right, fantastic. Solar's trying to rebuild his tech. He's got a lot of money. He's got a lot of money right now. And you know what? Does he have lurkers? 3. He's got 3 lurkers, and there's no detection. There are 4 orbital command centers. 1, 2, that one's burning. That one could be burning soon. This one's lifted. Oh, he's got, if he can... Okay, this is Solar's win condition, right, guys? Solar's win condition is keep all the command centers in the air. That one burns down. He's got to burn down these command centers so they can't scan. And then his lurkers can keep him in this game. Unfortunately, though, he does have... He's got a lurker den! HEROMARINE didn't kill his tech! HEROMARINE never killed his tech! The Hydra Den and Lurker Den is still up. Oh, Solar has to keep making lurkers right now. His lurkers get pushed back. This push just coming forward. This drop takes out the base in the bottom right side. At the same time, the ghosts, the tanks, the marines are slaughtering Solar. He's got to give up this base. The lurkers trying to buy time. There's another orbital there, but the Zergling's blocking it from lifting. Orbital has landed in the main. He's got to go kill that one as well. There's still 2 orbitals on the ground, which is why he's able to scan. Solar only got 1 lurker left alive. Dude, you got to make more lurkers right now. You've got the money. You've got the tech. He has to make more lurkers with his Hydras. That lurker there got killed. Oh no, this is a disaster for Solar. He just cannot rebuild. He's got the money. He's killed HEROMARINE's infrastructure, but HEROMARINE, with the army advantage, is not letting him rebuild his tech and use that lurker advantage. This orbital gets forced to lift. This orbital and this orbital are still both landed, ready to scan. He's got 2 scans available, just waiting in the wings. Tanks bio moving back forwards towards this last mining base of Solar. Solar's got a base there. He's built 2 hatcheries in the main. He's trying desperately to rebuild the numbers. Ling Bane, good at killing this. Lings can kill tanks, Banelings can kill marines and ghosts. But look at the way HEROMARINE's going to set up. He's in a big pre-siege. He's pre-spreading his bio. This is so hard for Solar to deal with. His drones caught in the crossfire. He's thinking about flanking at the tanks, though. Take out a big bunch of those Zerglings. Command center on the backside getting taken out by the Queen. We've got spawning pool, double spawning pool building for Solar. Solar at this point is just trying desperately to get some rebuilding on. Another orbital is being made right now for Biggest Gabus. Biggest Gabus showing his hugest of Gabes. And uh-oh, these lurkers have got to be careful, man. They've got to be careful, mate. Be careful, mate. That orbital is going to get burnt down. Solar's realizing, come on, dude, I've got 5 lurkers. I can win with invisibility. If we can do this, he's got 5 lurkers there, but oh, he takes 1, 2, 3 go down to the tanks and the snipe. Ah, there's still an orbital. It's right there, and there's one there, bro. They're actually out of scans, but there's only 2 lurkers left, and he doesn't know he's out of scans. Solar unable to shut down the orbitals. This one's still trying desperately to land. He's trying to block it as best he can, but there's one landed right there. It's next to your base. Oh my god, Solar unable to deal with this. His army supply is still so close. He's still building more Zerglings and a Baneling nest, but another scan goes down. Those 2 lurkers fall, their spines literally ejected from their bodies. And it feels like now Biggest Gabus is on the warpath. He's got 7 tanks, 21 marines, 5 ghosts, up against 86 Zerglings and 15 Banelings. He also has a Reaper. Fuck yeah, Chad Reaper. 3 Banelings, 3 Banelings, 3 Banelings. Oh, you're fucking kidding me. He's like, hey, I might get jumped on here. I should pre-spread my units just in case. And he pre-spreads and inadvertently dodges the Baneling bomb. You're fucking kidding. He's going back over it. Solar! Oh my god, he wants to burrow hit the Baneling so badly, but he's got more there. Go! Solar's like, fuck off, dude. Can you please walk over my Banelings, you dickhead? You dickhead! He doesn't have lurkers, but he's trying to make the Banelings work. There's still scans dropping, though. Orbitals hidden all over this map. He's going to go for a big spready and a big flanky. The tank line goes far back, though. The Lings get aggroed in. And this is not good for Solar. He's getting pushed back. That command center should be burning down. It looks like that is the one that got forced out of the main base. He's going to find this command center here. Solar realizing he's in trouble. That one landed! This one landed! It's got scans as well! HEROMARINE, scan saver. He drops a mule over there to repair the other orbital as well so that it won't burn down just in time. And this absolute Chad gamer, HEROMARINE, the Massling Bane, it's the final push of Solar. He gets the tanks on the left side, but the Bio Ghost is pulling back. There's a lot of Link Bane though. Oh no, I think Solar might have it, but he quickly picks up. HEROMARINE loses his tanks. That orbital will burn down, but he's picks up to the high ground. He picks up on the high ground, and he says, you have nothing that shoots up. You don't have anything that shoots up, dickhead. And look at that, he just picks up... Oh, we did lose 1 ghost there, a little derpy on the pickups. There's 1 queen in the red. That's not what I would call a well-rounded anti-air force. And she just gets sniped right in the butt. That ghost just Forrest Gumped her right there. He just jumped up and bit her in the butt. And look at this. Pick up, drop the high ground. Pick up, drop the low ground. What do you even do here as Solar? You've got 9 drones long distance mining. The units half on the high ground, half on the low ground. Pick up, drop, pick up, drop, pick up, drop. And this is so fucking irritating for Solar. Can he go elsewhere? Maybe. But he doesn't have anywhere else to mine from. And he has nothing to kill these buildings. Can he force a draw? If he can kill these units, maybe. I think Solar needs to split half and half. Half on the top, half on the bottom. But in these choke points, it's especially nasty. HEROMARINE's orbital will burn down here, but I don't think he cares. He's even dropping the barracks to create a little choke point wall-off thing. HEROMARINE. Oh my god, this here. At this point, it's torture for Solar. Look at that, he's going to snipe the Banelings. He's sniping the Banelings! Oh, HEROMARINE just being such a pain in the ass. A kick in the nuts. And Solar. Oh my god, I thought he could win that game. I really thought he could win when he went for the Nidus, but he just didn't have lurkers at home. And then gets tortured out of a nail-biting game 3. Well played. HEROMARINE takes the 2-1 lead. Alright. Hello, everybody. We are going into game 4 after a short break. Though I guess if you're watching on YouTube, there was no break. Oh my god. We needed a break because that last game was freaking insane. And he now finds himself down 1-2. This is Solar. Reppin' Kaisi Gaming. In the top left, we've got Mouse Sports HEROMARINE. That's the sort of game you feel very happy after winning and very crushed after losing it. Could have gone either way, but in the end, HEROMARINE comes out on top. That gigantic Terran army. Just not getting the lurkers out to stall it out. Cornering the Banelings and the Lings up in the main. Felt like that big Hydraling Bane army of Solar was just so inefficient. Once it got pushed back up into the main base, it was just getting sieged and sniped down slowly, repeatedly. And HEROMARINE was so constantly efficient on that. It was actually awesome. I do feel like HEROMARINE did tunnel vision on it to the point where he probably could have just raised his depots, set his rally point on the high ground, and defended his production. Since there was only 3 lurkers and a lot of Zerglings, if he just got a ball of Marines and a tank or 2 up, he would have been able to keep his production up, and then it would have been game ending. But that is assuming he can do that while shoving into the production and cornering Solar the way he did. And I think HEROMARINE, I mean, the results speak for themselves. I think he chose the right choice, which was to focus on the push at the front. Command center will be going down. 1:39, not bad. And yeah, pretty straightforward play. It's interesting that he's not taking any risks. The SCV is going to go over here, mine open these minerals, allowing his Reaper to cross in a little bit faster. And when he sees the hatchery first, the SCV will just turn around and go home. So you can see the SCV is like, oh, yep, you went hatch first. Cool. That tells me my Reaper doesn't have to stay home to defend against early Zerglings. We can go straight across the map. Queen in the main, Queen in the natural. No drone. Oh, there it is. I was like, no drone going to the third yet. That's peculiar. But no, he is out here. And I do like this third base because if you get creep out front here, he can potentially go for the this fourth, but I still think this fourth is better. On this map, it just feels like the one on the bottom. It's just too hard to get your creep really far out in front of it. Too easy for the Terran to assault. Great micro so far by Solar. No tax. The Reaper usually looking for that tax. Does try to bounce the Queen. Does get it, but we'll have to pull back and regenerate a little bit. He's looking to deny this creep tumor going down immediately. And Solar. Oh. Does get a few hits. And now safe to put that creep tumor down. Come on, dude. Waiting for the other Queen to get down. A little conservative with that. He could have just pulled his Zerglings forward, of which he built 6 Zerglings. I really think 6 Zerglings is overkill. It's a smaller map, though, so if there's a map to do it, this is definitely it. If you do that on Glittering Ashes, it's just a waste. You could easily get an extra drone out instead. And the Queen here is defending nicely. Okay, guys, we've got that third hatchery coming up as well. Third command center about halfway done. We've got factory, barracks, factory, starport there. SCVs are building. Second gas does go down on the natural. And are we going to see any safety like a Banshee? Or is HEROMARINE just going to Chad mode this and just go straight for like Liberator Viking, harassment units, maybe get a medevac for a Hellion drop? All are valid decisions. It's just the Banshee is much safer, much more solid option. Shows that you're respecting the chance of your opponent to explode across the map with like Ravager Ling or something like that. And indeed, safety Banshee does start up. Cloak has not started. We'll see if he wants to start that at 100 gas. Yeah, he's clicking the tech lab. See that blue circle? Tells us he had clicked it, and the moment he got 100 gas, does start it up. He's only killed 1 creep tumor so far, so no big value for HEROMARINE. Does force a Spore Crawler there to save the drone. Good response from Solar to keep that alive. Twitch chat's pointing out that Dark always builds 6 Zerglings no matter what. Yep. Most inefficient player in all of StarCraft, I know. He's the best player in the world with the worst openings. Dark! Purposely playing bad at the start, so it looks more epic when he wins later on. 6 Hellions coming in with a Reaper. How many queens we got? 6 queens out, 7th queen on the way, so kind of light on the queens, to be honest, for Solar. I would expect 8 queens as a bit more standard, but because he's getting the quick Baneling Nest, triple gas, and the lair, this is classic Solar play. He's the guy who popularized this. There was a period where Terran were always shoving with 2 tanks, 20 marines, stim combat shields, and 1-1. And it was like such a scary timing attack, and it was killing so many Zergs. And Solar was like the one Zerg who was like, yeah, or you could just make a really fast Bane speed and crush it. And people were like, you can't do that. You can't. We need upgrades. And Solar was like, actually, you know what's better than upgrades? If I go lair and then a Baneling Nest, and I start Baneling speed the moment that lair finishes, and then I shut down the first Terran attack, I can have my upgrades 30, 40, 50 seconds delayed. It doesn't matter because I'm going to take a 4th. I'm going to have better creep spread, more map dominance, more control, and that's going to be awesome. And he does it here. He loves this style. Bane speed. Because he gets 3 gases so early, 1-1 upgrade still starts up before 6 minutes, which is great. Hellions are threatening quite a bit, though. Has killed 3 creep tumors at this point. The Overlord here, being a budget creep tumor, is just going to take a shit. Very rarely is that a good choice on the battlefield, but when you're an Overlord, it literally is one of the only things you can do to contribute. Banshee's coming in from this bottom side. He's going to see if he can focus some drones down. Gets 1. Does take a bit of damage to that Spore. Only 1, 2, and not really able to get any damage. Ow, 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 ow. Hellion's going to move in from the south side. He'd like to get a volley on the Zergling. Solar does pull back in time. So the 1-1 upgrades are actually almost identical. HEROMARINE only about 10 seconds ahead, and Solar does take the 4th on the bottom. I always feel like this 4th is so hard to defend. Tanks can get down there, and there's not a lot of way to flank it, you know? It's an awkward area. This area up here is very dicey. Tanks there and stuff. There's a lot of choke points. You're going to have to tear these rocks down real early. So you should definitely get on that, but the Hellions, the Banshees are keeping him pinned back. Solar already up on 76 workers here, and Overlord speed on the way. Maybe going for Baneling drops. Those queens moving forward on the right side, skirmishing with the Hellions. Does need to keep transfusing and replacing those creep tumors. Double drop on the left side, moving out. Stim and combat shields all done in about 40 seconds. 5 barracks is up. Now, this is not one of these all-ins like he did on Curious Minds. He's been building SCVs the whole time. He is chilling out on 5 gases for a bit, and he finishes this semi-wall with the armory. Of course, making it so Banelings can't just run straight into the mineral line. Hellions finding more creep tumors. They've been really good at keeping all this back. And the Marines here, they see a shitload of Ling Bane come down. A little slow to pick up there, but he does kill a few Zerglings. The Queen's still respreading that creep in the middle. The Hydra Den coming down at a pretty decent time here. And HEROMARINE continuing. Depots, bio. 3 more barracks goes down. Oh my, guys. 3 more barracks very early. This one poorly placed. Blocked by the unbuildable plate. He's going to have to lift that to build an add-on. Luckily, HEROMARINE is a mechanical god. So something like that that's very frustrating for someone like me or you. For him, shouldn't be more than a minor inconvenience. It still shows a little bit of inefficiency, though. He's going to have to go back and fix up something that should have been done properly the first time. You know, if you get trapped in those sort of redundant APM cycles where you're just fixing earlier mistakes, it does waste a lot of your attention in a game that is very much about that, especially in Zerg versus Terran. Ah, boost, boost, boost! Oh my god, he barely saves the Marines. Does lose all of his Hellions with not the best trade. And there we go. The barracks are all just building Marines right now. He's playing a tempo play. Dude, it's 1 factory tempo. This is all in. He's like, I don't need an add-on. I'm just going Marine tank. Marines stim it on the south. They get 4 drones. They click the hatchery. He can get it. He can get it. That hatchery is dead. But he backs out. HEROMARINE showing a rare moment of indecisiveness there. I really thought just sacrifice the Marines, kill the hatchery as it is. That allows Solar to have that base to mine from. Of course, he's got another base here, so killing it would just force the drones to transfer. Wouldn't really be super deadly. 2-2 mass marine tank on the way. Guys, Hero Marine is all in. He is all in. I know it seems crazy. He's got 3 bases. He's got 66 workers. But you got to ask yourself, where's the tech labs? Where's the second factory? Where's the 4th command center? It is 9 minutes in this game, and he's simply going to hit with an immense marine count. 71 marines are on this map right now, and this is a crazy army. 4 tanks, 71 marines, and he wants to get up in the midst of Solar's economy. Solar has a hive on the way. He has his own 2-2 in line, actually even slightly ahead of Hero Marine's upgrades, but these rocks did not get taken down, and that creates a nasty choke point. He's going to have to flank in on this army, and because it's heavy banelings, they're very weak versus tanks in choke points. The Marines being pre-spread. Look at this tank line. Hero Marine realizes that the front of the line can get collapsed on, but if he spreads back far enough, Solar will not be able to deal with this. Bit of an F2 stim there from Hero Marine. He's trying to branch forward. He's trying to force Hero Marine to fight him. The scan does force that tank to kill the creep tumor. Friendly fires the Marines in the process, but there's plenty of medevacs overhead. 11 medevacs, 71 Marines, 5 tanks. More units, including Liberators, rallying in. 4th command center is on the way, and the Liberator rally especially very frightening for a Zerg to deal with tanks and Liberators both covering each other. The Marines once again are saying, hey, what are you doing running away? Come and fight into my siege tanks. Come and fight into my siege tanks. Solar coming in from the north, the top, the bottom at the same time. The Ling Bane in the center, though, trying to force its way through a very tight choke point. And he does take out those front-running tanks. He needs to pull back and morph more Banelings. The Marines and the tanks, though, are relentless. The Liberator is going to stack on top of this Hero Marine, piling on the pressure. And if he gets in here when there's no Banelings and the Marines are fighting versus just Hydras and Lings, it is 2-2. The Hydras do not have any attack upgrades. Got to be careful against these Banelings. Ah, he does spread and pick up. Very nice pickups. The Hydras are going to take out the Libs, though. He's got to redrop on that low ground. And look at that. Very nice cleanup from Solar on the siege units. But the Marine Ball, it persists. And it just will not leave. The Lurkers are now out. They do not have any upgrades. Seismic Spines has started, but it's not ready. The Marines in the midst of the rally. Banelings do come down, but only a handful of them. The tank needs to siege. Hero Marine changing angle now. This tank on the north getting some great shots off on this army. The drones are being forced to pull. That siege tank will go down. The Lurkers surviving and clearing it out. Marines are on the right side now, and the Liberators are sieging. The Spore's going to try and take him out. The Marines say, fuck you, Spore Crawler. The Liberators are here, and they are large and in charge. He's going to take out at least this hatchery, but oh my god, the medevacs, dude. He's lost a lot of medevacs. He's going to try and engage into the lurkers. That's awkward. He gets one front lurker. The hatchery should be falling, but he can't really afford to stim right now. Medevacs desperately needed. Taking out that medevac count has been massive, and Hero Marine's army, it's very bruised. He does take out a base, but he doesn't even get rid of all the evacuating drones, and it looks like just enough Hydras and Banes to take this out and push it back. Solar hanging on the edge of a cliff, hanging on by his fingertips on the brink of defeat. And unlike really, really poorly made climbing equipment, his Lurker Lingbane Hydra defense was pretty solid. Unlike being a fucking moron who wears gloves while they go rock climbing, he did not manage to have that slip off as he hung off the end of that cliffhanger. He barely climbs back up on the rope, gets up there, and he's feeling good and solid. He won't need Sylvester Stallone to get him out of this one. Lurker is there. The Viper's trying to come forward. Blinding Cloud or abducting the tanks could be big, but I think the Lurkers have stalled this out. Hero Marine has to get the tanks in range of the Lurkers, and that presents them as a very easy target for the Vipers to abduct. That's going to be massive. Marines coming forward. Lurkers do get some good shots off. These are now 10 range Lurkers. They've got seismic spines. They do some really sick damage. And he's rebuilding the other base in the bottom as well. He's managed to stall this out. He's on 80 workers versus 74. And the question I've got to ask is Hero Marine able to go into the late game? Liberator gets abducted and taken out. Very nice. I still think he could abduct these tanks with those Vipers. I think they're close enough. Yeah, he's got it. Goodbye, Seiju, thank you. The Marines trying to, of course, snipe the Vipers if they go for it. But I think he can easily get this tank. Yeah. Very nice. Tank does get a shot off, but it does go down. Ling run by does get defended. Only gets 2 SCVs. Oh, Hero Marine tries to dive forward, but that's a lot of lurkers and a blinding cloud and a whole lot of spikes up their butts. Those units go down. Liberator in the bottom left side. HEROMARINE trying to stretch out Solar, trying to see if he can distract him and pick him apart. Lings will run into a planetary. Solid defense. Still no tech labs. HEROMARINE, you've got to go Ghosts. You cannot kill him with this. So HEROMARINE's still in an all-in mindset in this game, guys. Still just saying Marines, tanks, go. +3 attack, no armor, no Ghosts, no gases there. He's still only on his initial 5 gas geysers, and he feels like taking the gases, adding the tech labs, adding the Ghost Academy is just going to give Solar too much time, and Solar will have too much momentum and just smash him. He does not have a 5th base. It's starting now for HEROMARINE, but oh, he gets a Viper, but he's taking massive spikes. Ah! Oh, man. Ow, 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 ow. Those Marines got slaughtered by the lurkers. The tanks get some decent volleys off, but he's starved for scans right now. He doesn't even have scans for the lurkers, man. Ah, lurkers, Lings, Banes, Hydras rotate to the right side, and I think he's in charge. I think Solar's able to get in front of this push in time. Oh, you don't want to siege there. Okay, siege is a little further back. Still should lose at least 1 or 2 of these lurkers. Where are the Vipers, mate? Where are those Vipers? One of them got focused down. He's only got 1 alive right now. And I think at this point he could probably just jump on top of these tanks. But I understand why he's falling back. Solar, of course, a little fearful. Where are the scans? Where are the scans, HEROMARINE? Lings are going to run in at the same time. He does force these lurkers back once again. Dude. Oh! Ow, 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 ow. Lurker, Hydra, Ling, Bane coming in from all sides, but they are forced to abandon. The Marine tank somehow gets another base snipe. And it's a protracted 3-base all-in that's become a 4-base all-in. He's now got his +3 weapons. Never has Solar got enough money to make Carapace. And it feels like HEROMARINE now. I thought he had to transition. He's telling me momentum is everything in this game. Taking a moment to build your economy will give too much space for the Zerg. I need to control the territory. And he's doing it so friggin' well. Oh my god, great fight for HEROMARINE. And he might just be able to get the 3-1. The blinding clouds do come in on the tail end of it. And it looks like he maybe just barely has enough Hydras. He cleans this push out. It was so darn close. So darn close. Oh, when he left 2 tanks on the north, that's a little unfortunate. More Marines and tanks coming on forward. Tanks getting abducted though. The Viper's really making a big difference in the tail end of this game. And fantastic hold by Solar. He gets control of the center, keeps this base alive, which right now his drones are misclicked. They're not mining properly. They're long distance mining. This base has been mining again. Does need to put back on gas. Probably wants to retake that base. He's got 2 Zergans denying this one from lifting. HEROMARINE will drop the bottom left. These drones do go back to mining now, realizing his mistake there. HEROMARINE's going to send a new command center to the top of the map. And he's trying to rebuild. Now, he has gone 3 factories. So that was his transition, was let's just use mass siege tank. But he said he's not got any upgrades. He's only got +1 armor. He's got no attack upgrades for them as well. I mean, you can argue, Solar doesn't have even have +3 carapace, which is a massive upgrade against Marines either. But it's still a very close game that could go either way. Marine tank is not bad at dealing with these units. The problem is always going to be the 3 Vipers are just so good versus tanks. And that's why I think HEROMARINE needs to keep dropping, doing a bit of multi-prong, trying to trade with the Marines versus the Ling Bane, and maybe then in the chaos he catches these Vipers out, stims some Marines on him. That could be a game-changing situation if that happens. +2 Rangers on the way for Solar. He's sucking energy off that hatchery there as the Marines once again try to strike the bottom left, but Solar wisely leaving a lurker here. Another command center morphing into an orbital. He knows he needs scans here. That first lurker volley hits. The Marines then dance around, get a creep tumor, and they will take care of at least 1 or 2 Zerglings. He's going to continue to multi-prong this hatchery that never got sniped from earlier in the game. I do wonder if that would have been the nail in the coffin. If he'd actually committed to killing that hatch earlier on, instead of saving those 6 or 7 Marines, would that have actually put Solar in a position where he dies to the push? I do not know. It's all conjecture at this point. Marines will dance around. Overseer's going to the main. Oh, no, 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 no. Not like this, not like this. Okay, he realized, and he's going to try and stop that Overseer getting to the back. No! HEROMARINE! Ah, he's looking elsewhere right now. Marines do go down there, finds a nice angle, gets 6 drones. Oh, you're fucking kidding me. Not like this, not like this, not like this. Okay, does save that drop. He realizes what's going on here. Now, for those who don't know, you do need a Viking to get rid of this Overseer. And it's something Maru does every single late game ZVT is he has a Viking. His job is to kill Overseers that keep spotting for those Nidus Worms. Look at this guy Could pop a Nidus there, or they're very frustrating. +3 armor starts for both sides at almost the exact same moment. Marines and tanks are marching forward. 16 siege tanks. Even if 6 of those get abducted, there will still be 10 remaining. The problem is when there's so many tanks, if you clump them, Blinding Cloud will destroy you. You've got to spread these tanks out. It's very, very APM intensive and annoying to do, but you've got to do it. Nidus in the back door, Lurker Viper in the front door. Marines come forward. They are not able to snipe the Viper. Solar's doing a good job of baiting those Marines into Lurker fire. And oh no, 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 no. Here comes the Lurkers. Oh, this is so huge. HEROMARINE's trying to micro on the front, but look at this. The abducts tearing his tanks apart. So many go down. And look at that. And he just picks up and pulls back. A good play by Solar. He's got 4 Lurkers in the back door as well, just digging away at the back of HEROMARINE's base while giving up this base on the north and just saying, I'm not going to take a bad fight. I'm going to wait for my Vipers to get energy. That amazing fight with all the abducts, we're going to do that again and again and again. You don't have Ghosts. You don't have Vikings. You got nothing to deal with my Vipers. Oh, by the way, these Lurkers are absolute savages. They are killing so many Marines. Finally, HEROMARINE pulling his whole army back defends that, but not before losing so much momentum and control. At this point, I'd love to see 2 tank siege up here, kill the Lurker, or maybe even a single tank, you know, just harass that base from the high ground. Keep on branching it out because Solar's economy, not so well defended. You've got to remember, though, completely undefended. No planetary. He's got nothing up there. Even a handful of Zerglings going to the top could kill HEROMARINE's most important base. Both of them a little naked now. A Nidus Worm does go up somewhere on the map. I think it was defensive repositioning Nidus. And, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it popped and then died immediately. Tank's going to siege up here. And that Nidus Worm should go down as well if he clicks on it. But he could unload Lurkers if he chooses. Ling's on the top side, finding a base. Drilly boys, assemble! Little do these Drilly boys know they have been tasked with fighting in hand-to-hand combat versus biological freaks that are literally designed by Abathur, the sick puppy himself, to be masters of melee combat. 21 SCVs die to kill about 8 Zerglings. Another Nidus Worm goes up in the back of the base. Solar finally has prompted HEROMARINE to do the Maru and build the fuck you Viking. The fuck you Viking, something more players out there should do versus Protoss players, Warp Prisms versus Zerg players, Overseer, Nidus Worms. The fuck you Viking just doesn't give them a chance to hang around in the edge in the dead space, and it's a very wise investment. HEROMARINE is still up 20 army supply with 18 siege tanks! Oh my god, and he's got Vikings to hunt down the Vipers as well. If the Vipers waste their abducts on the Vikings, that's a win. Because you as HEROMARINE, you just need to let your tanks do their work, right? They are a little clumped right now for Blinding Cloud. More Nidus Worms. God, he's got changelings in there. He's such a dickhead, isn't he? The Lurkers are going to go up in the top base. Solar's not watching them. They're asserting dominance by just looking at the Marines and saying, are you sure you want to pick this fight, Mr. Marine? Transfuse to get the Vipers alive. Nice plays by Solar, abducting tanks and Vikings, and then leading them. Finally, the Lurkers do burrow in the ground and say, okay, time to end this. They take out 8 SCVs as well as the Marine. HEROMARINE, though, dives the bottom left, both players losing their most important base at the exact same time. Sorry guys, I just tried to harmonize with myself as if I was Tastosis. Apparently I can't cast like 2 people at once. GG's. Marines in the bottom left are going to dive into this base. It's absolute madness. Solar, I think he's going to lose this base. He's got so little minerals left on it, though. I think the more important thing is unit efficiency right now. If he can catch the Lurkers, that would be huge! And he's going to force him to burrow there. He says, you can't run away or my Marines will punish you. He gets rid of a lot of the Lurkers. There's a random Lurker here. Where the fuck did he come from? Who knows, mate? SCV's on the top, unable to really mine. He's got 4 mineral patches available. Meanwhile, Solar has 400 minerals there. This base is actually surprisingly healthy because it's died so many times. Oh, the tanks! No! HEROMARINE, too clumped up! He thought he was the aggressor and Solar was the one running away, and he was. But Solar spots him with half his tanks unsieged, all of them clumped up, and one crucial misstep in a moment where he assumed Solar was on the back foot and retreating from him. Oh no, an incredible, incredible play by Solar. Catches him on the move, clumped up, unsieged. And that was a disgusting ambush and turnaround there. Both players on their last legs. That army versus army clash was always going to decide that game. And Solar finds an incredible engagement. Let's go back and look at that last fight one more time. How did he even know? I think he probably with the creep or something. I guess he just assumed, hey, you're probably moving around. Let's see if I can jump on you. And, oh, HEROMARINE was just so clumped. And he's dealing with like Lurker harassment and stuff. And Solar, he just kind of sees a few tanks on siege and is like, oh, let's fucking go. And then as he gets further and further and he's just blanketing and blinding clouds, he's like, oh, this is actually, yeah, I can actually just overwhelm. Very decisive plays by Solar, burrows his lurkers on top, some of them hit by his own blinding clouds, some of them not. And wow, just so many tanks getting ravaged, dude. I do think HEROMARINE had an army that could win this fight, but just a fantastic catch by Solar, and he wins the game. Beautiful, beautiful play by Solar there. HEROMARINE getting one of the most immobile armies that depends on positioning, caught out of position, and we are going to game 5. All right, guys, let's go! Game number 5 to decide it all. Down here in the bottom left, this is Solar. Man, he's been under the pressure, right? This whole series long, Kaiser Gaming Solar just hanging on like a champ. And this man piling on the aggression. It's HEROMARINE. Barracks gas opening. Looks pretty standard here for HEROMARINE. That gas is 1 second late, HEROMARINE. Tighten your build up, son. What a beta. Solar, of course, a bit more of a Sigma. Just, fucking, you know. There's alphas and then there's Sigmas, you know. And Sigma is just, it's a whole nother level. Solar is the Korean player that is like, you know, we go to Home Story Cup, I cast, and I translate for the Korean players, and I play and win the tournament. He's MVP, all-round good guy. Lots of SCVs building. I'd like to see HEROMARINE... Oh, I was about to say, I'd like to see HEROMARINE skip the scout this game, and he's done it. He's like, game 5, you haven't done any aggressive builds, you wouldn't do it now. He's just going to skip the scout, and use that SCV instead to build the command center. So this just gives him a little boost rather than, remember, normally this SCV goes across the map, checks the hatchery, and then runs home. Instead, he says, hey, don't have to pull an extra SCV from my main, just get a little bit more minerals early. It's going to make my build a bit smoother. A very small risk taken, but it's going to pay off. Drones are pumping out. 4 Zerglings and 2 Queens. Do we see Zergling 5 and 6? I think it would be really dumb on a big map like 2K Atmospheres. I'd like to see another drone. I think it'll be... It's normally Overlord, isn't it? 27 Overlord? Oh, no, he goes... Okay, so he goes Ling Speed, then Overlord, then 6 Zerg... Why does he build these 2 Zerglings? This is nonsense. There's no... Those Zerglings are going to pop at the same time as the Queen pops. Yeah, guys, the 6 Zerglings is so dumb. This is some modern amateurish shit that all the pros are doing, and I'd love to hear their take on it, but I'm convinced already it's going to be bad. It's going to be a bad take. They're just like, we decided to just give up having an extra drone early every game. It's like, guys, this is not Beckett Industries. This is not the smallest map in the pool, and you're not playing against Clem either. If it's Clem or Maru's Reaper on the smallest map in the pool, I'm okay with you building 6-lings. Otherwise, I'm going, no. Now, obviously, this is a very small efficiency thing, but it's just something where I'm like, why not have an extra drone? Those 2 Zerglings achieved nothing. They really were unnecessary, especially on such a big map. Now, HEROMARINE is once again going for the quick third command center and second barracks. I think it was game 1 he did this, wasn't it? Now, what the hell happened in game 1? Glittering Ashes, wasn't it? I think Glittering Ashes was the one where HEROMARINE was pushing, he was doing pretty well, and then one of his pushes got shut down, and then Solar was just overwhelming him, right? Kind of distracted him in the back with a Nidus, and then shoved the front at the same time, right? With 3 lurkers, yeah. To be fair, I mean, this series has been so many Niduses getting up, and I really do feel the difference between HEROMARINE, or sorry, Maru, and a regular Terran player, a normal top 5 Terran player in the world like HEROMARINE, is just the fact that people's Niduses never work versus Maru, and they seem to work versus every other Terran player. Single Zergling in the top. Just casually scouting for proxies, but pretty sure he wants to go in for a scout. Already got that starport on the way. Reactor will go down as soon as he hits 50 gas. Put up! There we go. Overlord's going to come in for the scout, just like clockwork. HEROMARINE has not really focused on denying that very much. does block the Zergling, but the Marine, second Marine, does not come over. Ooh, 3 drones, but great surround by Solar. It's going to get both of those Hellions and the Reaper. Wow! Spinny, 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 flippy. Very nice. Does shut that down. 3 drones is not bad that early, but losing the Hellions and the Reapers, I think, does make it a better trade for Solar. Double Evo Chamber does go down here for Solar, and it is creating a little bit of a semi-wall, which I'm actually not a big fan of. I think the more wide open the spaces, the better it is for you as the Zerg player. This is just going to make it harder to get in and out around from your main into your third. It's just an extra obstacle. Obstacles, in general, I think are bad versus Terran, and I've always felt this way ever since in Wings of Liberty, the first time I had a Terran drop in a little corner that I made in my base, kill 400 Zerglings with 8 Marines, and I rage quit. Wanted to rage quit life a little bit that day, but you learn, you live. Solar apparently is thinking a wall would be nice, does make it harder for Hellions to run into the base, and that is a very quick 4th. Holy shit, guys, this is Omega Greed. Guys, Solar is going so greedy. And he doesn't even have a lair yet. He's just gone super fast upgrades, Baneling Nest into lair, same build as game 1. It's the exact same matchup of build orders here. He's like, dude, this build, I know what you're doing. I know it's not that hard to stop 16 Marines in a medevac. I get my Queens to the front. I build some extra Zerglings. I block this. I drone my 4th. I'm miles ahead. This is such a beautiful response from Solar. Worked out well in game 1. Let's see if HEROMARINE can change how it unfolds in game number 5. Just going to respread the creep here, no doubt. He's already got amazing creep spread out on the left, so a fantastic 5th base location opening up on the left side as well. And that doubles as a macro hatch. Does have 4 more Overlords building. Slight supply block right now for Solar. And there is no special twist here from HEROMARINE. It's just, I make tank, I make Marine. Marines and tanks, tanks and Marines. Marines, tanks, also some tanks and Marines. His 1-1 upgrades are kind of late this game, which is why he's gone the 4th and 5th barracks before Armory. Maybe he had a slight supply block or something like that as well. So he will be starting the Armory up next anytime in the next 15 seconds. Marines are rotating around, still trying to keep on some pressure. Solar has a 5th base up though. And I gotta say, this Massling Bane style with a sick economy up against a guy playing Marine tank feels good for Solar. Does need to drone this 4th base though, so I'd like to see him get another 5 or 6 drones on that 4th, because he's got so much control at this point. He's also Baneling speed. The Baneling speed. Baneling speed. Solar. The whole problem with this build that I pointed out in game 1 is Baneling speed is already very late. And I thought it would be up at 8 minutes, 8:30. He got it at 7:40, and that game is when it kicked in. Guys, we're at 7 minutes. He hasn't even started it. That's an 80-second upgrade. That's a long upgrade. That is a big mistake. Solar, hello? Can you not see that these waddly boys? I mean, I think maybe he thought he started it and didn't have the gas. He must think it's upgrading. He must think it's already in the queue. Oh, this is a disaster. If he ends up taking a big fight without that, I mean, come on, mate. You've got to remember this upgrade. Marines and tanks moving down the right. We've got Marines pumping out units in the main. The Armory is on the way. That means the 2-2, though, a bit of a delay on that. 2-2 going to start up ahead for Solar. He starts an infestation and a Hydroden. Mate, you've forgotten your Baneling speed! What the fudge? Guys, he had such a good start, but he's such an unlucky player. How? In game 5, after getting nuked out of the tournament last year, how in game 5 does he forget the upgrade that literally makes his style good? No, okay, he's got to pull back. You can't fight with slow banelings. Get out of there. Just abandon the base. Move to the left. It's not the end of the game. You cannot fight with slow banelings. Solar, no! No! Oh, this is an absolute friggin' disaster. Oh my god, the tank still stands. He loses his whole army and HEROMARINE has the position. How can you be so consistently unlucky and making these mistakes in the most important moments? He was so well set up to crush this mid-game, and he's just completely forgotten Baneling speed. It's going to finish at the same time as 2-2 almost. This is ridiculously late. I mean, he's got the base on the left. He's still got a decent economy. He's not out of it yet. But what should have been an incredible early game is now turning into a bit of a shit show. He's going to have to knuckle down, and he's trying to counterattack. But now HEROMARINE is like, dude, I've still got this tank and Marines that should have died minutes ago, and they are trading so effectively. Solar, he's got to gather his forces, knuckle down, and show us the experience that he does have. We know that he can play God tier StarCraft. It's a rough start, but he's got great creep on the left. If he can control this watchtower, keep pushing this creep, just ignore this army, just leave some units down here, respread creep on that side. He can get to lurkers, he can get back in this game. You do not want to be engaging with just banelings though. That's always inefficient. Zerglings do take out that Marine. HEROMARINE going to drop some Marines on the left side as well, but a wise pickup to pull out of there. Second factory is finished. Fourth command center is done now. And he's got those 3 extra tech labs. Bam, bam, bam. That's going to give him triple Marauder production. He's got the 8 barracks pumping away. Marines continuing to trade here quite efficiently, baiting the Zerglings into some tank fire. And this just feels very oppressive. As a Zerg, you do not want to have this squad of units denying map vision in the bottom right, because you never know when that's going to turn into a forward attack or drop. You'd like to have a bit more vision and space, but let's be real. Defending this side is more important. Widowmine does not get a massive hit. Good spready from Solar. He's got to quickly respread creep. That creep control on this left side is so vital. But look at this. HEROMARINE realizes I've got to utilize the fact that I have control on the right side of the map. Push in with these Marines. Would have been good if they pushed in a bit deeper, to be honest. He's missing a bit of an opportunity there, but he does lure the army down. Picks up, pulls it back. Gathers up his forces. Army moving down the left side at the same time. Second factory is up. He should be building Widow Mines now. Lings are finally going to clean those tanks up. But HEROMARINE still being active with drops down there, making it very hard for the creep to respread. If he gets rid of this creep as well, Solar's whole vision on the right side of the map is shut down. Big army on the left. It's almost pure bio. Where are the Widow Mines? Is HEROMARINE overcommitting? I think he's got the numbers. He's got enough Marauders in there. There's not enough Banelings. Remember that Solar is on the back foot. He's trying to make Lurkers, Vipers, all these fancy units. Well, guess what? Vipers are not what you need right now. He needs Banelings. He needs Lurkers. And he needs them desperately. He's trying to hold on here. That Widow Mine. Unburrow micro from HEROMARINE. Will he get a big shot? No, the Banelings take it out before it can fire. The parasitic bombs clean up. The medevacs, the Lings hold on. An incredible hold for Solar as he does rally on the left side of the map. The right side, though, the Marines are diving on in. HEROMARINE's going to punish him for being a little out of position. He needs a few more units to pop out. That's a good ball of Marines. Unupgraded Hydras and Zerglings, or ungrouped up Hydras and Zerglings, going to struggle. Army dives on the left and he gets the hatchery snipe. He does trade a lot of units for it. Widowmine's maybe going to punish Solar. Gets a good hit there. A juicy 16 kills on that Widowmine. Pulls back on the left side. Army on the right side as well. Re-unloading. 5th command center's on the way. HEROMARINE has got the Ghost Academy popping up as well. He's going to be going into Ghosts in the near future. That will line up with the Lurker transition starting, but he's not done yet. Solar desperately trying to rebuild his 4th base. His income is so much lower right now. You can see it in the top left of your screen. Another big Widowmine. 12 kills. And more Widowmine just walking right up into the face of Solar and saying, you need to defend me right here, right now, or this hatchery goes down again. Evo Chamber falls, Marines in the natural. And they're going to wedge themselves in between the gas geysers and try to fight. As the Banelings come in, they pick up and pull back. Adaptive Talons on the way, plus 3/3 upgrades for the Bio tank. And Lurkers on the left side there, shooting out some spines. The Bio has to withdraw. Solar stabilizing a little bit, but he's wedged in his corner. He's got this one little willy of creep out on the right side of the map. Other than that, it's nothing. A little globule over here. Nothing else in terms of the defense. And even there, losing workers on gas down to 74 workers. And HEROMARINE has the map to himself. The ghosts are building 4 at a time. The command centers are coming down completely uninterrupted. There have not been any Zergling backstabs. A Ling backstab on this base would do a lot to pull the momentum away from Solar's side of the map. It's been so long since he's been able to do it, though. HEROMARINE is just trading as well as he can. He's been up 50% in the units lost. That is just so good for him. And plus 3 carapace never got made. Plus 3/3 attack. When that kicks in, it's a big advantage. And oh, the Willy does get snipped there by HEROMARINE. He's going to push that one back. The extra hatchery down there as well. Command center up here also. And you know what? Nice big multi-prong Bio Mine. We've seen the power of this against the Zerg, who doesn't have creep, who doesn't have the ability to just shut this down. It gets really efficient over time because you're trading small numbers of expendable units, and every time you do it, you're presenting targets for snipe, for Widow Mine hits, for these big, beautiful trades. And that is the creep completely pushed back. Some is still visible on the right side of the map. But once again, bringing your eyes to that income tab. Still ahead, and these resources will be mining out. It's going to be dropping further and further as this game goes on. A couple of Lurkers get sniped. A lovely push on the top. HEROMARINE does have to pull out of the Lurker spines, but he's got to drop in the back. Hydras, Banes, and a Viper trying to go in. He's going to drop on the high ground in the main base. Seeing what sort of trade he can take here. Does pick up and just rotates around. Parasitic Bomb, maybe an abduct into the Hydras would be nice as well. I like that he's just split dropping now to be as annoying as he can. And look at that, the Lurker's out of position. The drop works as a distraction. Snipes come down, and the Bio, Spreadies versus the Banelings. Revenge Widowmine gets a good hit. More snipes on these Lurkers. The last 9 Lurkers standing between Solar and defeat. Hydralink Bane, even Queen's coming forward. The hatchery goes down. Another Widowmine fires. Hero Marine backs off. He's redropped in the natural. He's got Marines in the main taking out the infestation pit. The drones falling in the natural. Solar, he's got to be absolutely kicking himself. The Bane speed being forgotten in this game severely compromised his position, and from then he has been on the back foot. He's going to do a desperation Nidus Worm, and I mean, it's a Hail Mary Nidus Worm. It's a desperation move. It says one last chance, but look at that. Just unsupported Lurkers get dived on. Hero Marine says, doesn't even matter, don't even need to use snipe, I'll just jump on top and blast you down. I haven't been able to breathe for the last 10 minutes, and neither is Hero Marine, because he there has just made a historic moment for himself as the man who wanted to just be a streamer for a while, the man who always would not be able to take down the Clems, the Serals, the Raynors, to the guy who has crushed his group and now crushed the quarterfinals. He's going to make it to the semifinals of his first ever World Championship. What an absolute Chad. Bloody well played, Hero Marine. GG.